this subject is about police stop and search, random stop and search, also how it affects the wider society as a whole. We've done loads of I guess we as the black community have done loads of I'm tired of being stopped for no reason. And the argument back is, it's just a small price to pay. I had someone tell me, well, why don't you make a complaint every time you're stopped and they find nothing? And it's just like, bro, I ain't got time for that. I've got businesses to run. I've got money to make. I don't have time to pick up after you all the time. That's just not my job, innit? And I get it, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, for the most part, being stopped and searched is inconvenient, at least. And sometimes it can lead to other things. But I'm not even going to go into that because I feel like that's a whole separate issue. But there's a side that I feel like some of you aren't getting. I don't think you realise how it endangers you. Like, you think it's funny, you think it's cute, and you think we're making a fuss over nothing. That's fair enough. But there's another side to this that I don't really think you're factoring in. So, every time someone gets stopped or searched, randomly, not talking about intelligence-led stop and search. I'm not even against intelligence-led stop and search. If someone told you that something's going down and these guys, these girls might have something on them, then cool, it's your job, innit, to say, yo, I heard this, let me check it out. That is what it is. I'm talking about random stop and searches. So every time you randomly stop and search me, what happens is two things. The first thing that happens is you put the general public, the wider general public at risk, because now you're stopping me, who's not a criminal, and you're allowing criminal activity to carry on. Because your job is stopping criminals. Your job is not stopping me. So you're not doing your job at that time. And, there's always going to be some overlap that's going to happen. At the end of the day, yeah, we're all humans, and humans make mistakes. And again, we can paint this picture that that all police are bad, and I would never paint that picture. I've had more than enough encounters with police officers that I thought they were cool, they were right in it. So that is what it is. And again, that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is the ongoing problem that we see in our community, and the stats say it all, really. And you can dispute that as well. Cool, dispute that what you want. What I'm talking about is people being put in situations that they shouldn't be in. So, like I said, if you're stopping me, you ain't stopping who you're supposed to be stopping. The second part of that is whenever there's a situation where police abuse their power, there's a backlash. That backlash leads to legislative changes. It leads to more red tape. It leads to more paperwork. It leads to more areas where real criminals can find loopholes and get out of it. You're not making yourself safer. What you're doing is putting yourself in a position where now there's more barriers for you to stop anybody. That goes for criminals as well. To me, that's really simple. I don't get why you don't see it, or I don't get why certain people don't see it. To me, it's nuts. You're putting yourself in a position where, let's just say, for argument's sake, yeah, let's say because of this constant misuse and abuse of the stop and search laws, and we know as well the stop and search laws, they're flimsy at best. You can stop for any reason. How many times have you been stopped because I've been stopped in my car and they said, oh, we thought we smelled weed. My car has never had anyone smoke in it ever. I've never smoked weed ever. But for somehow you thought you smelled weed. Did you really? No, you didn't. Again, abuse of power. So now what happens is they go, do you know what? You can't use that excuse anymore. You can't just use a random excuse. You have to have something that adds up. So if you say you smell weed, you have to find weed or some sort of smoking paraphernalia to show that this person, may have had weed at some time. You're putting yourself in a position where you're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for loopholes to be made. And I just don't think people are looking at that side of things, because you're so eager to make it out like it's not a problem. Again, that's cool, that's cute, but what you're doing, you're forgetting. You're creating bigger problems for yourself. It's just the way it works, bro. It's just the way it works, man. You're setting yourself up to fail. So the question then becomes, what are you out here to do? Are you going to actually do some intelligence-based, intelligence-led work and find real criminals? Or are you going to waste your time with me? You can't do both. As a member of the general public, I would hope that the police are out looking for real criminals. I would hope so. But we've seen too many examples, and we continue to see too many examples. And the only examples you lot see are the ones that are on film. I've never filmed the police. Ever. I've never filmed the police. Any stops. I've never filmed them. Some of the things that have been said are nuts. And you wouldn't even believe it. If I said it, you'd be like, nah, you're lying. So if I've experienced that, I know loads of other people have as well. So if you just add up all those situations where police are abusing the system and not actually finding real criminals, how much crime has gone on? How many times have you been affected? How many times has your car been stolen, bike been stolen, house been broken into? Like, there's so many things that go on and they're not being dealt with because you want to waste time talking to me, asking me how I got my car and how I make my money. Don't worry about my money, man. Worry about your money, because what's going to happen, this idea that you lot think can't happen of defunding police, is a very real possibility, and it's been spoken about in places. It's been spoken about diverting funds. So, again, don't worry about where I make my money. Worry about your money. And if you're really worried about your money, do your job properly.
You ain't gotta thank me, this comes naturally. Grew up in Newton and nursing. Oi mate, cancel this self-helping year 2020, I'm done with it. I've been a G since when? Since